Hello all, welcome to another lab session on Google Cloud Platform. In this lab, we are going to learn how to launch virtual machines using Google Cloud Platform. The previous lab session, you already learned how to create a free account in Google Cloud Platform. Okay, now take google.co.in and search for Google Cloud. Click the first search result, Google Cloud, Cloud Computing Services. Now click on Get Started for free. And click on your email ID, Gmail email ID and your password here. Now we are directed to the Google Cloud Platform homepage. So this is the first lab session and this is regarding launching virtual machines. Okay, so the first page is regarding billing. Okay, billing service here and how the billing account overview you can check here, and you can also check your payment overview. So in billing account overview, what we are getting is details regarding current month account and billing health checks. It's been automated here, and you can also check your free trial credits, remaining credits and remaining days. Okay, you can also upgrade here by clicking upgrade. Okay, now I'm going to click and search for various services. You can click on API and services, click dashboard. So in this we can directly search for any of the services in Google Cloud, and we can directly move to that. Okay, for example, if you want to search for Lambda service, search here Lambda, and LAMP certified by Bitnami or AWS Lambda you can use here. Or if you want to search for big data, type big and you will get BigQuery and big data, all the services related to big data. Okay, click on left side panel. Now click on IAM and admin. We are something like, okay, it's related to the security groups. So you can check on App Engine here, dashboard, services, versions, instances related to App Engine deployment. Then you can check here on Compute Engine, and VM instances are under this feature. You need to click here and can browse through another category, storage, where big data services can be launched, and file storage. You can browse, monitor, transfer. Okay, so this is related to the storage mechanisms you can launch here. Spanner, SQL, you can create SQL databases here, and so in cases if your virtual machines are deployed in different regions or zones, you need to click under network category, you need to click VPC network, and you need to create virtual private networks to provide security to a data transfer between different zones or even between different regions. You can deploy your virtual machines in different regions, and definitely you need to deploy VPC. Okay, and under operations, monitoring features are given, where you can create alerts and logging, and okay, alerts are basically for resource checking, keeping an eye on your more resources. Okay, that's all about monitoring. And other interesting services are also given in the left side panel. You can go through it. Click Compute Engine, and we're going to do our lab here, virtual instances, coming under compute category. Okay, so I'm going to click VM instances. You can check here VM instances, instance groups, instance templates. Okay, so the main intention of this lab is to create virtual machine instances. You can also create snapshots. Okay, it's very interesting that is a saved version of your virtual machine, so that you can further back up your instance and do it some other operations. Before creating, you need to check one project here. That is, every virtual machine should be coming under a project here. So by default, my first project is chosen here. I'm not going to change the default project here. And if you want to create a new project, you can click here. Okay, and select new project here. Okay, I'm not going to create a new project here, and can also search here for project details. Click cancel, and we can move towards creating virtual machines, VM instances. Click create, and we need to give the name for our instance 1 default name. Next option is regarding region. Okay, so by default your central one Iowa is chosen here. Can explore various regions and zones. Okay, US West 1, Europe North 1, Europe West to London. Selecting Europe West to London. Okay, 3 zones are there, that is West to C, Europe West to B, and Europe West to A. So basically every region will be having different zones. Okay, so you can deploy your virtual machines within a different zones of a particular region, so as to get more security for your data and your virtual machines, and applications be deployed in virtual machines. Okay, you can choose another location. Like basically it is advisable that you choose a location nearer to you. So that is in this case you can search other categories and different regions here. You can check for different regions here. So zones and regions are actually represents different geographical regions areas, right? So you note of caution that when you choose region and zones, please make sure it is nearer to you, because performance is again a factor we need to take into account while creating virtual instances. You can click on Asia East 1 is near to my country, okay, India, and click on other options like Asia East 1C. Now next one regarding the machine configurations, and it is basically classified into 3, that is general purpose, memory optimized, and compute optimized. Okay. So in this case regarding the machine configuration, the 3 categories are there. We are dealing only with general purpose for the time being. Okay, you can go through memory optimized option here and compute optimized options also. You can please check all these options. Click on general purpose, and series by default chosen is E2. Okay, CPU platform selection based on availability. So I am not going to change the default values. You can change the machine type here, and the first one is regarding shared core. E2 medium is by default selected. That is, if you are selecting E2 micro, it will be having 2 virtual machine virtual CPU, so 1 GB RAM. You can check here is E2 medium, that is by selected one, 4 GB memory, and standard type, high memory type, different categories are there. In the case of high memory, you can choose 32 GB RAM, 128 GB memory. Okay, and in the case of high CPU category, you can go and get 32 CPUs also. So I am going to choose E2 selected E2 micro, and now moving towards boot disk here. And this is regarding the operating system that we are going to install. Okay, so by default Debian is selected, and click change here, because we want to launch an Ubuntu instance. Click operating system, you can explore all the various operating systems here. Click Ubuntu, that's what I'm going to launch here. Click Ubuntu, and different versions of Ubuntu given here, that is I'm going to select Ubuntu 16 LTS. Okay, you can check here. So there are 3 boot disk types available here. The first one is balanced persistent disk, then second one is SSD persistent disk, third one is standard persistent disk. Okay, so I'm not going to change the default value. Just the next, click custom images. So if you already created, if you have created any images in some of the previous projects, you can load that image here. Okay, this is one of the very one useful feature, so that you can reload or backup your image and reload in another virtual machines. Okay. Now select. Next is about identity and API access. So these are related to our service accounts. I am not going to change any of the default values here. Okay, so this is regarding security groups, and I am not going to change the default value. Okay. So next one is regarding firewall. Please tick on these two features. And see, before creating the account virtual machine, you can also explore management, security disks, and other networking features here. Now, before creating, we can also explore one more few features are given here, that is click management, security disk, networking, and sole tenancy. Click on it. So this is basically regarding further advanced options here. You can the management, you can provide deletion or protection here. If you click here, instance cannot be deleted. Okay, so even when your virtual machine is deleted, it will be, the image will be there. And you can also create a startup scripts. You can enter here. You can create metadata here. I'm not going to change any of these values. Click security. Now this is regarding your SSH key public. Okay, now click disk. So by default, delete boot disk when instance is deleted is selected here. So we need to make sure this is not changed. Okay, because if you delete your virtual machine, it will consume your space. Okay, if you are not deleting your instance, or then it will consume storage space. So I'm not going to change the default option here. Okay, next one, networking. And the case of networking, so if you have already completed creating certain networks and subnetworks, you can come here and choose your network here. Okay, so we are not going to change the default values here. Sole tenancy you can check here, and I'm going to click create for launching virtual machine. So the instance is going to be started here, and we can also get more insights about various other services related to instance. And now our instance is up and running. You can check various actions here. Okay, now our instance is up and running, and you can check the internal IP here and external IP. This IP is used for connection, SSH connection. Okay. In this one interesting aspect of Google Cloud is that you can directly use SSH in our browser. Okay, so that is one of the interesting feature of Google Cloud platform. You can connect to your virtual machine using this inbuilt feature. Okay, using SSH key. You can also explore your virtual machine using Google G Cloud command. So I'm going to click here SSH, and a new window will open here. And basically we don't have to deal with PuTTY and other SSH remote connection tools. Okay, and here this browser will take care of all the process of create transfer, authentication to our virtual machine. All these things will be taken care by this option here, the inbuilt feature. So we are directly getting a connection to our virtual machine. Okay, so we got a connection using SSH. So this feature is very interesting, and so that we don't have to use any tool like PuTTY for getting a connection here. You can also check features, some of the additional features being given here. Going to close this window here. Click leave. So here you can click here, and can see further options related to a virtual machine: stop, suspend, reset, delete. You can also log, see the logs and monitoring. So if you want to delete here, you will select it, and okay. And if you want to browse, do the SSH connection, click here, and you can directly get a SSH connection. Okay. So we have reached the conclusion of lab section 2. So hope you learned how to create a virtual machine, and please after creating, you please delete or stop your instance here, as it consumes resources. Okay. So thank you.